Ever wonder how a 400-ton metal tube cruises at 600 miles per hour without falling? It weighs more than a fully loaded truck, yet it sails through the sky. There are no flapping wings. There are no balloons holding it up. Just two fixed wings, a metal body, and a pair of jet engines. So what is actually keeping this thing in the air? The answer is not what most people assume. To understand it, we need to look at the wings. Most people think the jet engines point downward to push the plane up. Engines only push the plane forward. They do not push it up. Others imagine a plane floats on air the way a boat floats on water. A boat rests on water because water is dense enough to support its weight. Air is about 800 times thinner than water. No aircraft could possibly sit on top of a cushion of air. So both common guesses are wrong. The real secret is the shape of the wing and how it moves through air. Let us take a closer look at that wing. A wing is not flat like a sheet of paper. It has a curved top surface and a flatter bottom surface. Engineers call this special shape an airfoil. An airfoil is just a fancy word for the cross-section of a wing. Picture a teardrop shape lying on its side and sliced in half. The thick, curved part faces the sky. The thin, flat part faces the ground. As the plane moves forward, the wing meets oncoming air. This stream of air is called the relative wind. When air hits the front edge of the wing, it splits into two paths. One stream of air flows over the curved top of the wing. The other stream flows along the flat bottom of the wing. The two streams of air meet again at the back edge of the wing. Here is where the physics starts to do its work. Imagine sticking your hand out the window of a fast-moving car. If you hold your hand flat, the wind just rushes past without lifting it. But if you tilt the front of your hand up a little, something changes. The wind catches the bottom of your hand and pushes it upward. An airplane wing works in exactly the same way as your tilted hand. Now let us look at the air flowing over the top of the wing. Because the top is curved, the air has to travel a longer path. To keep up, the air on top has to move faster than the air below. Here is a key rule about moving air. When air moves faster, its pressure drops. Pressure is simply the weight of air pushing on a surface. Fast-moving air pushes less. Slow-moving air pushes more. This rule is called Bernoulli's principle. So now we have fast, low-pressure air on top of the wing, and slower, higher-pressure air under the wing. This difference in pressure creates a force. The higher pressure below pushes the wing up toward the sky. The lower pressure above also pulls the wing upward. This is the first half of how lift is made. But there is a second half. It comes from the tilt of the wing. A wing in flight is not perfectly level. It tilts upward at the front. This tilt is called the angle of attack. It is simply the angle between the wing and the oncoming air. Because of this tilt, the bottom of the wing hits the air at an angle. This angled surface pushes air downward as the plane moves forward. Now we can use a second key rule of physics. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This rule is called Newton's third law of motion. The wing pushes air down. The air pushes the wing up. So lift is really two effects working together. Number 1, a pressure difference between the top and bottom of the wing. Number 2, a downward push of air by the tilted wing. Both effects add up to the total upward force called lift. Lift is the upward force that counteracts the weight of the plane. Weight is the downward pull of gravity on the aircraft. When lift equals weight, the plane flies level without climbing or falling. If lift grows larger than weight, the plane climbs higher. If lift becomes smaller than weight, the plane descends. The pilot changes lift by adjusting speed and angle of attack. Faster speed and a higher angle both create more lift. Now let us look at how engineers use these rules in real aircraft. First, they choose the shape of the wing very carefully. They test these shapes in a wind tunnel. A wind tunnel is a room with a giant fan that blows air over model wings. Sensors measure the lift and drag of each shape. Drag is the backward push of air against a moving plane. A good wing produces a lot of lift with very little drag. Small trainer planes usually have short, straight wings. Large passenger jets use long, swept-back wings. Swept-back wings cut through the air more smoothly at high speed. The trickiest engineering problem is takeoff and landing. At those slow speeds, a normal wing cannot make enough lift. So engineers added movable panels to the wing edges. These panels are called flaps and slats. They extend outward to make the wing larger and more curved. A bigger, more curved wing makes a lot of lift at slow speeds. Once the plane is cruising at high speed, the flaps retract. Retracting the flaps reduces drag so the plane can fly faster. This is why you hear loud clicks and thumps near landing. Those sounds are the flaps and slats sliding into position. So an airplane stays in the sky because of two simple effects. Number 1. Air moving faster over the curved top lowers the pressure above. Number 2. The tilted wing deflects air downward, which pushes the wing up. The jet engines only push the plane forward. They do not lift it. The shape of the wing does the real work of holding the plane up. And that is the basic mechanics of aerodynamic lift. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you liked it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.